Mixed with that gallon vernaculars. La la la, whatever. La la la, it doesn't matter. La la la, oh well. La la la, we're going at it tonight.
Okay, students. Okay, I gotta get back in my seat. Who's out of their seat? No! What is this music? No, it's not alright. That is a big no-no in my class. People running around chaotically. I don't like it. You think it's funny? Get out of my class. And for another thing, you all stink, bathe, and never hurt anyone. What is this? It's a big no-no too. I don't find that funny. You know what? You can leave my class too. Leave. I don't like you. Leave! Leave! Leave. You know what? I changed my mind. Get back in your seat. I hate you. Today we're gonna go ahead. Oh, by the way, I'm Mr. Turduncan. None of y'all know me. You don't even know me like that. Just whatever. We're gonna start today by talking about what is outsider art. I bet none of y'all know what outsider art is. Of course you don't. I don't even feel like talking to y'all anymore. I'm going to go ahead and define the definitions of outsider art by taking them apart and then putting them back together, because that's what artists do. Outsider art. Outsider means one who is not included in a given group. Art is the feeling deep within your soul, thrown upon an art piece that you would like to have. The feelings you have inside that tear things up and then create something beautiful. That is art. Another way to describe art, the easier way, is this equation of m equals corn to the greater power of neutrons maxed by the power of broccoli and trees. Equals outsider art. There you have it, students.
Today, as y'all all know, Mr. Turduncan isn't exactly right. I'm sorry, I know y'all all miss him, y'all all love him. It's okay. Peace out. But I'm gonna tell you what outsider art really is. Are you excited? Don't be in your seat! You can do it, it's okay. Chill out. Chill out! The front row, chill out. Okay. Outsider art is the creative artwork of artists who are self-taught and, for another thing, not capable of being disturbed. Let me tell you that. They're not capable of it. You're going to see later why. Because I got pictures of their artwork and it's a little disturbing. Okay. Let me just name off a few of, well, not people, but the type of people that would be good outsider artists. It would be the naive, the innocent,
The visionary. I'm so tired of looking at these lines. There's got to be more to life than these lines! Lines! No more of these lines. No more of this box! I'm getting out of this box! I see outside of the box for the very first time. The intuitive. Oh my gut! Oh, okay, I can't go down this way! My gut hurts! It's telling me not to go that way! The schizophrenic, which I would absolutely know nothing about. Hey, Bob! Oh, it's so good to see you! I've missed you so much! Man, it's just a good time. Give me some fish! Oh, okay. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, that was a good time.
What is she doing?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it's been like, what? 5 years? 5 minutes? I don't remember. Hey, what's up? The mentally disabled and even the psychotic. Don't you look at me like that. I see all of y'all. Every single one of you. Don't look at me like that.
The obsessive. If I was your girlfriend, I'd drive you up the wall. Question who you with, Dad? Always call and call. Wouldn't call it jealousy, I'm just looking out for you. Reading all your texts, watching everything you do. Nag, nag, nag on you. Ask all about your past and Facebook stalk you too. I don't care about them, I just care about us. So I say hello to a girlfriend you can trust you. I'll always be checking up on you. Hey boy, who you talking to? If I was a girlfriend, I'd never let you leave without a small recording device taped under your sleeve. You wanna look your best and share your best with me. Don't hide secrets in your house, 'cause boy, I stole the key. You're never gonna leave.
They're compulsive. What are you doing? I have a compulsion to bite. Okay, well, the French artist Jean de Buffet is perhaps more responsible than anyone else for our current awareness of what we now call outsider art. He coined the phrase art brut, which literally means raw art, to refer to art made by those described above. In addition to the self-taught artists and the other groups that I have listed above, some artists, writers, dealers, collectors, and curators often lump several other types of art and artists under the same outsider art. These may include such categories as folk art, primitive art, tramp art, prison art, African sign painters, African coffin carvers, Haitian muralists, Australian Aboriginal painters, and others. Outsider artists, 9 times out of 10, are literally outsiders.
Hey, Ashley, don't you just love my artwork?
What is that?
It's my artwork. Isn't it beautiful?
Donna, you are such an outsider.
No.
The first artist I will talk about is Bill Traylor. He was born in 1854 as a slave. He was born on George Hartwell Traylor's plantation in Benton, Alabama, where he stayed on through his emancipation until the mid-30s. Alabama. He came to Montgomery, where he worked briefly at a shoe factory. La-da-da, shoes. Okay, back to my face. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. And then later collected a state pension. He then took up a post on a Lawrence Street sidewalk where he began to draw on scraps of cardboard. He was poor. He then met Charles Shannon, a young painter who offered him drawing materials and financial support. In 1940 and 1941, his drawings were showed at New South in Montgomery and New York City at the Fieldstone School. In 1942, he traveled north to live with his children until in 1946 his leg was amputated due to gangrene. Ugh. In 1949, he died in a nursing home in Montgomery. And now, I shall show you pictures of him and his work, because I love you. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not gonna sing. I'm done with singing. Okay. This is one of his. There's a bird, and there's a man, and I think that's a cat, and that's a dog. And that's a girl. And I think it's funny because the monkeys have more, like, facial features than the people do. See, they don't even have a nose. But the monkey has a nose and eyebrows and hair. And they don't have anything. That is Bill Traylor. You see? You see? There's another close-up of his face in a minute. That is the spotted cat. I think it's a really important artwork of his, the spotted cat. That is a man climbing on the roof to get a rooster. And that is a close-up of Bill Traylor's face. Miroslav Tichy did his photography in a little town called Kajov, Southern Moavia. I'm sorry, it's in another language. Disappointed by the rejection of his works and rising state censorship, Tichy abandoned his formal studies of drawing and painting at the Academy of Fine Arts in Prague shortly after the communist takeover in 1948. He returned to live a life of artistic solitude, focusing on women. Ooh la la. For the majority of his life, Tichy's works went unnoticed by the public. I have pictures, some more pictures. He made that camera himself, and it actually works. It was a working camera he made himself out of crap, basically. She's wearing a swimsuit, I promise. I know it looks blurry, probably from your point of view, but she's wearing a swimsuit. That's a woman, and that's a man, and that's another man over there. I don't know why, but he didn't even take a picture of her face. He just took a picture of the bottom half of her, and I thought it was weird. And he took a picture of her doing something weird. And that's him, with his little camera doodad. Madge Gill was born in London to an unmarried mother at the age of 9. She was placed in an orphanage and sent to Canada as a farm servant. She began her artistic outpourings after her daughter died. Her aunt introduced her to spiritualism. Gill's discovery of drawing was a direct result of attempts to contact her daughter and one of her sons who died during the influenza epidemic of 1918. She rarely sold her artworks, insisting they belonged to the spirit guide. And that's a picture of her. Oh, you wanted one that was less blurry? Tough. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I got y'all. Martin Ramirez was born in Jalisco, Mexico, and crossed the border into the United States sometime between 1900 and 1910. He initially worked in the railroad industry, but eventually became in poverty, and in 1930 was institutionalized by Los Angeles authorities. He was transferred to DeWitt State Mental Hospital in Auburn and began to draw there in 1950. In 1954, he showed some of his drawings to psychologist Dr. Tarmo Posto. He took an interest in his work. After Ramirez's death in 1960, Dr. Posto showed the works to artist Jim Nutt, who was then an instructor at Sacramento State College. Nutt and art dealer Phyllis kindly bought Ramirez's body of artwork from the past and became key advocates for his art. Exhibiting in a variety of venues, initially Ramirez created his art with a pencil that was allotted from the hospital staff. He used scraps of paper, at times glued together with a variety of substances, including mashed potatoes, bread, water, and saliva. After Posto became aware of his art, he supplied him with better materials, including colored pencils. Isn't that just crazy? Who would think to use mashed potatoes? Since he worked in the railroad industry for a little while, he had a lot of trains in his artwork. I don't know where the deer comes from, but he drew that. Or painted that one.
Yeah, he drew these. Beautiful lady, ain't she? And another train. And there's a train in the background. And there's a man. And that is him.
Here you go, Martin. Here's your food.
Thank you, Melody. Oh, I make artwork. Well, hello everyone. No, you missed me. It's been a while. Today we're going to talk about Judith Scott. She's personally my favorite outside artist at all of these. Judith Scott was a visual artist isolated from outside influence as a result of the impact of deafness and Down syndrome. She was independent and self-directed. In the 18 years Judith made her work, she never repeated a form or color scheme. Crafting armatures of bamboo slats and discarded materials, Judith diligently wrapped each work with links in knotted cloth or yarn. The artist was introduced to fiber art in 1987 by artist Sylvia 70 at Creative Growth and produced a remarkable, breathtaking body of mixed media sculptures. Roger Cardinal and John McGregor, internationally known scholars and experts in the field, have both designated Judith an outsider artist, as her sculptures reflect little cultural impact and are highly individualistic, reflecting Judith's own unique personal vision. Now I shall show you pictures. You ready for the pictures? I think you is. I'm just kidding. That's not proper grammar, kids. Okay. Like I said, she's personally my favorite artist. I like what she does. Lots of yarn. Just weird random stuff that you'd never think about. That is her hugging her artwork because she's such a sweetie. That's a chair with a wheel and some pantyhose and yarn. Probably more than that, but I can't see all of it. Oh, I think there might be a pillow underneath all that too. And it's a box with stuff in it. That is her again hugging her artwork. And that is her working. Okay, our last artist is Joseph Yoakum. His life was one filled with stories and adventure, but how much was fact untinged by fiction has long been cause of speculation. Documents indicate that he was born in Greene County, Missouri on February 20th, 1890 to a father of Cherokee and African American descent and a mother who was French American. However, Yocum claimed that he was born at Widow Rock, Arizona in 1888 and was Navajo ancestry. Having received little formal education in his youth, Yocum set off at a young age to work with Great Wallace Circus, where he groomed horses and served as a stable hand. He continued in this line of work for a number of years, traveling with several circuses and shows, including Ringling Brothers and Buffalo Bill Cody's Wild West Show, with which he toured Europe between 1903 and 1906. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ringling Brothers show. Tonight we will do the impossible. We will have this big kitty jump through this little hoop. Jump, kitty, jump. You big fat lion, jump through the hoop.
Man, I ain't getting paid for this.
Very well then. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we shall do the impossible. We shall have the ringleader, me, jump through, fit in this little hoop. Fit in the hoop, fit in the hoop, fit in the, fit in the. Oh my goodness, I'm stuck. Okay, anyway, Yocum returned to the United States and married in 1910, but was drafted in World War I. He served in France and after the war did not return to his family.
but continued a nomadic life working on trains or in the shipping industry. During this time, it is said he stowed away on a ship and narrowly avoided being tossed overboard when he was discovered. However, the captain sent him to work in the boiler room, and he continued on the journey to Australia. Yocum would later say that he had visited every continent in the world except for Antarctica. After marrying again in the 1920s, Yoakum eventually settled in Chicago, where he held a number of occupations, including property of an ice cream parlor. It's not clear exactly when Yoakum began to create his elegant abstracted compositions. Scholars believe his artistic activity may have begun in the 1940s, but Yoakum stated, "I've been drawing all my life." Hello, fellow students of the world. I'd like to say that I'm Joseph Yoakum. And though there's these rumors that have been spreading about me, about how these scholars have been saying that I started my early artwork in the 1940s, I'd like to just clear things up and say that I've been drawing all my life. Okay, we get it, it's okay. Chill out. Anyway, his pictures frequently show locations or memories of his travels, and he often included the name of the place on the drawing, as well as a stamped date of his vibrant works. The larger art community in Chicago noticed his work in 1967, which resulted in several gallery shows. A group of artists known as the Chicago Magists became great admirers of his work. Before his death in December 1972, Yoakum's work was shown at numerous venues, including in New York at the Museum of Modern Art and the Whitney Museum. I have pictures. When don't I have pictures? I always have pictures, you silly little goose nugget. This is one of his artworks. Do you see? You got a good look at it? Yeah, got a good look. He drew lots of hills. I noticed that. Lots of hills, lots of valleys, things like that. And the sun. And he didn't always do it like this. You know how these two look pretty similar and stuff? He didn't always do them like that. In fact, a lot of the times they didn't look this bright and they didn't look like popping out like this. I just like these better. And this is the only photo or really painting that I've seen him do like this. It must have been really one of a kind. And those are two people dancing. I don't know if that's a self-portrait with muscle or what, or if it's somebody else with muscle. It looks pretty cool though. I thought it was neat. And that is Yocum. Joseph Yoakum. Thank you everyone for listening to me rattle on and on and on about what outsider art really is. It's been amazing. But for now, as that guy would say on that picture, stay psycho, my friends. Don't let anything disturb you.
If you were my boyfriend, I'd never let you go. I'd hide you in my basement. Nobody has to know. With a shot call, you'll do everything.